Hey guys. Oh shoot, I'm sorry guys. Trying to make sure y'all can see. Please, y'all. There we go. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to make sure y'all can see the camera. I'm at the TV. Oh yeah, welcome back guys to my YouTube channel. How are y'all doing today? By the way, y'all, I have a huge announcement at the end of this live stream. But I just wanted to talk about a few things. One main thing was, of course, me and Miss Yola's book. And, I have 8,000 YouTube views, and that is a major accomplishment. And to all those that subscribed and our channel members, like I said, much love and appreciation to you guys. Like I said, it don't take much for you guys to support. You know what I mean? All you have to do is subscribe, and you're basically you supporting. Mm-hmm. Trying to figure out.
This is Houston. The pain is still all too raw. I miss her. That's all. For the first time since her daughter's death, Sissy Houston is speaking out. She sat down with me in the same place where just a few weeks earlier the world mourned her child. Newark's New Hope Baptist Church. She's accomplished a great deal in the short time that she's had here. I'm proud of her for a lot of things. She was a very wonderful person.
That was one of the main videos I wanted y'all to see, mainly because that one was the one I got a bunch of views on. But besides that, I've got already, like I said, almost 8,000 views. But the main point is, I'm just giving y'all thanks for always, having my back and supporting me. And like I said, doesn't take much to support. It really doesn't. Just subscribe, and like I said, it don't take much to support a creator.
Good morning. Good to see you. I'm Joe Fryer.
And I'm Savannah Sellers. Thanks very much for joining us. We begin our show with that unprecedented fourth indictment facing former President Donald Trump over an alleged attempt to overturn the 2020 election result in the state of Georgia.
Trump is among 19 defendants charged with racketeering and conspiracy. They all have until next Friday, that's 9 days from now, to surrender voluntarily or face arrest. This morning, we're learning new details about what that process could look like. It all comes as Trump says he will present a, quote, irrefutable report of alleged election fraud in Georgia next Monday without providing any evidence of what that could include. NBC News spoke with voters in Georgia about the latest charges handed down to the former president.
I think it's about time that he was indicted for that. He's been investigating that a long time, and it's finally coming to fruition. So I think it's something that needed to be done, and he needs to go try it.
I don't think he belongs in jail because he's a former president. He has 74 million supporters. So I don't think he belongs in jail. I think it would be too divisive in this country. I think Giuliani and all his cohorts belong in jail.
MSNBC anchor Katie Fang joins us now from Atlanta. So, Katie, the countdown is on to next week's deadline to surrender. We understand Fulton County Sheriff's Office has provided some new details about what that process could look like. It's different from the previous 3 indictments we've seen. So, tell us more about what we could expect there.
Yeah, Joe, so we got some guidance yesterday from the sheriff's office indicating that all 19 defendants, and let me be clear, there's no carve out for a former president in this guidance, that they're all going to be turning themselves in to the Rice Street Jail. That's a couple of blocks away from where we are at the Fulton County Courthouse. Now, why is that important? Well, normally there's a two-step process. You turn yourself in, you post a bond, and then you eventually have an arraignment. That should still happen in this instance, but of course, being that we have a former president of the United States involved here with Secret Service, there might be some difference in how that goes down. But right now, the jail is also open 24/7. They don't keep bankers' hours. And so there could be people turning themselves in as early as today with little to no fanfare that we actually would expect with somebody like former President Trump. And Katie, the former president is still digging his heels into these claims of alleged election fraud in Georgia. He's even planning a news conference on it next week. But tell us about the state's Republican governor, Brian Kemp. What's his response here? Yeah, so Brian Kemp is one of several Republicans that we all know about, like Brad Raffensperger and former Lieutenant Governor Jeff Duncan, who we know testified for hours in front of this Fulton County grand jury before that indictment was unsealed a couple of nights ago. Those are former Republicans or Republicans that actually stood the line and basically said to Donald Trump and everyone else, there was no election fraud in our state of Georgia. And so Brian Kemp taking a very markedly different position than Donald Trump. Donald Trump, of course, promising a total exoneration at Bedminster on Monday when he does have that press conference. But of course, a lot of people are also saying he also promised an infrastructure plan, and everybody's waiting for that as well.
And Katie, of course, Trump not the only one indicted here. 18 others were also indicted. What is some of the reaction we're hearing from some of those other people who were indicted? Specifically, two big names stand out: Trump's former chief of staff, Mark Meadows, and his former lawyer, Rudy Giuliani.
Yeah, so we are getting a legal response from Mark Meadows, the former chief of staff for Donald Trump. He is trying to remove his case from state court to federal court. But we're also hearing, of course, more vocally from somebody like Rudy Giuliani, and we actually have some sound from him if we want to take a listen to that now.
This is a ridiculous application of the racketeering statute. There's probably no one that knows it better than I do, probably some that know it as well. I was the first one to use it in white collar cases. But in major cases like the Boesky case and the Milken case, this is not meant for election disputes. I mean, this is ridiculous what she's doing.
Problem for Rudy Giuliani right now, though, is he's actually admitted in civil litigation that was brought by Ms. Freeman and Ms. Moss, Ruby Freeman and Shane Moss, that sued him for defamation. As you know, he accused them of fraud during the 2020 election, the election process. He's actually admitted that he knows that it was a lie, what he said about them. So I don't know how he plans on, reconciling taking this position he's saying now, which RICO doesn't apply to him, and the fact that he's admitted that he knew that everything he said about the election fraud was a lie. And so we'll have to see what that happens in an actual court of law, not in a court of public opinion. But you can expect more and more statements coming out from more of these defendants.
All right, Katie, thank you so much.
Well, among the more serious charges, former President Donald.
Okay, I was trying to show you, there's another video I was wanting y'all to see, but I have to find it first. There it is.
Sell your car on cars.com. Elk Grove Current Car.
Are you freaking out? What a long, strange trip it's been. Election Day 2020 was a distant prospect when the crowded field of Democratic candidates gathered for a debate in June 2019. The U.S. Senator from California, named Kamala Harris, made an impact with this tart attack on Joe Biden.
There was a little girl in California who was part of the second class to integrate her public schools, and she was bused to school every day. And that little girl was me.
In February 2020, Biden won the South Carolina primary, a victory that breathed new life into his faltering campaign and led him to the nomination.
Now, I'm not gonna say that I voted for Biden because I ain't voting for Biden. Because I want somebody in there that's young. I don't have no hatred towards Biden or nothing. I just think they need to put somebody in there a little younger. But I know what y'all's gonna say. Either way, all presidents are crooked. Yeah, I guess you can say that.
Chick-fil-A is now in the fourth indictment of Donald Trump. The former president has been firing back online. Senior investigative correspondent Eric Tursky has the story. Good morning, Eric.
According to you,
But I
George,
can't
we're
say all presidents are crooked. I mean, I can't really
still
say
waiting to
that because
find
I
out
don't
when
know.
former President Trump and his co-defendants are going to turn themselves in to authorities here. But what is becoming clear is the scope of the charges they face and how they're beginning to defend themselves. This morning, former President Trump intensifying his attacks on a criminal justice system that has now charged him in 4 places at once, lashing out on social media about a stolen election. Republican Governor Brian Kemp defending his state, posting the 2020 election in Georgia was not stolen. Trump is charged with 13 counts, including racketeering. The indictment putting him atop a criminal organization that also includes 18 aides, attorneys, and associates, and 30 unnamed co-conspirators, all allegedly conspiring to strong-arm Georgia into helping Trump cling to power. Rudy Giuliani peddled false claims about poll workers stealing ballots.
Quite obviously, surreptitiously passing around USB ports as if they're vials of heroin or cocaine.
Giuliani now says he's being indicted for being a lawyer.
I thought what I was doing is I was protected by the fact I was defending him.
Mark Meadows is trying to move.
I mean, to be real, I don't want to hear nothing about Trump for Twitter. I mean, anything I mean, I don't mind hearing anything about him. It's just, I don't know, y'all. I mean, there's so much going on with that man.
Now to the newest indictment against former President Donald Trump. More of his co-defendants in Georgia are criticizing prosecutors.
Nicole Killian is in Atlanta, where the accused have been told to appear by the end of next week. Just hours after Fulton County District Attorney Fonnie Willis announced charges against former President Donald Trump and 18 others for their alleged efforts to overturn the 2020 election in Georgia.
It is now the duty of my office to prove these charges in the indictment beyond a reasonable doubt at trial.
Trump said in a social media post he'll hold a news conference next Monday that will be a complete exoneration, and he repeated false claims of election fraud in Georgia. The state's Republican governor, Brian Kemp, hit back. The 2020 election in Georgia was not stolen. With 9 days left to turn themselves in, the Fulton County Sheriff's Office says it expects the 19 indicted defendants, including the former president, to be booked at the Fulton County Jail. Trump's lawyer, Rudy Giuliani, who faces 13 counts for allegedly making false statements about the 2020 election, denies any wrongdoing and says he plans to surrender soon.
I'll pick a day next week, try to work out the conditions of bail. There has to be bail, I imagine.
On Tuesday, Trump's other co-defendant and former Chief of Staff Mark Meadows sought to move the criminal charges against him from Fulton County to federal court. His lawyers say they plan to file a motion to dismiss the case, arguing nothing Mr. Meadows is alleged in the indictment to have done is criminal. Meadows was on this call with Georgia's Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger in January 2021.
Mr. President, everybody is on the line, and just so this is Mark Meadows, the Chief of Staff.
During which Trump made this statement.
I just want to find 11,780 votes, which is one more than we have, because we won the state.
After a false alarm earlier this week in Fulton County.
Oh, wow.
She's been looking for an insight in that data forever.
Oh,
Hanging up.
Everybody, welcome to the Impressive Channel. It has been announced that Keke Palmer and her child's father, Darius Jackson, have broken up. Now, this does come as a surprise to me because I honestly thought they would still be together. Even though they did have some relationship issues, I thought that they probably worked it out quietly, but I was wrong. See, this is what I get for assuming things. I don't know. I was wrong. Now, in my previous video, I did talk about Keke collaborating with Usher for his new video for his song Boyfriend. She actually starred in the video. And honestly, I thought the video was cute. I thought the song was catchy. It wasn't Usher's best song, I would say, but it's definitely the type of song that will be stuck in your mind if you listen to it a few more times. So it was just a little catchy little bop, and I know people are going to talk about it, joke about it, make think pieces about it, but overall, I thought Kiki and Usher came together because they wanted to capitalize off of the moment that blew up over the summer. And that was the moment when Kiki's boyfriend called Kiki out after she got serenaded by Usher at his concert. Kiki's boyfriend Darius was very upset. He said, "It's the outfit though, you a mom." And then he followed up the tweet.
And then what was I about to say, y'all? I might have forgot, but
We turn now to Barbie, turning all that pink into green at the box office. The movie just crossed the $1 billion mark over the weekend, and Eva Pilgrim is back with that. Hey, Eva, we both wore our pink in celebration of this
in
big
honor
milestone.
of Barbie, we are wearing our pink. You know that lyric, "Come on, Barbie, let's go party"? Well, now Barbie has another reason to celebrate. Ticket sales for the blockbuster crossed the $1 billion mark over the weekend. In the history of Hollywood, 28 people have had the directing credit on a $1 billion film, all men. And for the first time ever, a woman can now be added to that list. That is the director, none other than Greta Gerwig. She's the sole director and co-writer on the global blockbuster. According to Warner Brothers, no movie in the studio's 100-year history has ever sold tickets so quickly. The movie reached the milestone in just 17 days. Ticket sales, of course, were boosted by the Barbenheimer craze, but pink fever has spread around the
hey
world.
guys,
An amazing
make
achievement
sure
for a
y'all
film
like.
that starred
Let's
executive
get
producer
this video
Margot
to
Robbie once
2K
had to
likes.
convince producers to consider
I'm
making,
trying to
and
do my
Gerwig
thumbnail.
just turned 40, so she's celebrating that as well.
So many milestones and great lessons. Good takeaways here for women. Go for it.
Yes.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the It's Wednesday, taking on Trump or not. 2024 candidates, Republican leaders, and the current president all struggling to meet this moment and address the state of U.S. democracy in the aftermath of Donald Trump's fourth criminal indictment. Plus, new developments in this ongoing legal fight over access to a widely used abortion pill. An appeals court has just partially ruled in favor of abortion rights opponents, as the issue is now on track to go back to the Supreme Court in a campaign year. And for the first time, a court in the U.S. has declared it a constitutional duty for government officials to protect their citizens from the climate. What the landmark ruling out of Montana could mean for climate change litigation and fossil fuel policies nationwide. Hey, Wednesday, welcome to Meet the Press Now. I'm Chuck Todd reporting from Washington. And right now, more than 2 days since former President Trump's fourth criminal indictment brought the total number of criminal counts he's facing to 91, there is no sugarcoating. The top political leaders in this country are struggling to meet the gravity of this moment and fill the vacuum in moral leadership in our fraying democracy. The response from Mr. Trump's so-called Republican rivals isn't surprising, but it's once again revealing. The most recent comments from Ron DeSantis, Tim Scott, and Vivek Ramaswamy, three of the candidates closest to Trump in the polls, could have come from Trump's own mouth, lumping the latest serious charges with the prior ones, glossing over the details of the cases, and essentially coming to the former president's defense.
We see the legal system being weaponized against political opponents. That is un-American and unacceptable. At the end of the day, we need a better system than that.
They're now doing an inordinate amount of resources to try to shoehorn this contest over the 2020 election into a RICO statute. I think it's an example of this criminalization of politics.
The fourth one does not appear to be pardonable if it's brought under state charges. But wherever possible, I would pardon him because I want to move this nation forward beyond this weaponization of government. So this morning, Trump's former Vice President Mike Pence also parroted Trump's talking points about the politicization in the American legal system, but he also firmly said that Donald Trump lost Georgia and criticized Trump's efforts on January 6th. Take a listen.
After years of revelations of politicization at the highest levels of our justice system in this country, has undermined public confidence in equal treatment under the law. But in these times, I want to say I think it's important that we hew to first principles. No one is above the law. And the president and all those implicated are entitled to the presumption of innocence that every American enjoys. Despite what the former president and his allies have said for now more than 2.5 years, and continue to insist to this very hour, the Georgia election was not stolen, and I had no right to overturn the election on January 6th.
These various responses, from the defensive to the tepid, arguably reflect years of rhetoric to voters by Mr. Trump and his allies all over the spectrum, including the information ecosystem. On the Republican side, the closest we've seen to someone in leadership actually speak out about the former president's behavior comes from Georgia's governor, Brian Kemp.
What's up, y'all? I had to come on here real quick just to share this news, my thoughts on this platter face, no good, jealous, envious, funny grubbing bitch, Pat Houston. This is the same bitch that has basically bashed Whitney Houston. And now we know. But I've been knowing because I always thought something was shady about this whore. But we always saw her.
And Leolah Brown joins me. She is Bobby Brown's sister and Whitney's former sister-in-law. And you were also Whitney's assistant for some years, right?
Yes.
Okay. I just want to get your take on this. What do you think?
When I first heard the news that
I can see you're upset.
yes,
Still upset.
I am. I really am because I think it's what I said it was in the beginning. When I first seen this and I saw the news and I'm sorry, please excuse me, I just have to come out and say this.
Please.
I saw Ray J coming out of the hotel, hiding his head, being pushed into the car. Why? I looked and I said, why is he hiding? Why is he hiding his face? He's always trying to show his face when he's around Whitney. Why now? Why are you trying to hide now, Ray J? And I put it all together. When I first heard she passed away, I said, my God, somebody gave her a bad bag. That's exactly what I said. Yes. I promise you, that was the first thing that came out of my mouth. And then I saw Ray J. And it all added up. So I am going to believe that Ray J, who Whitney told me she had no relationship with, and this is a young boy who's running around telling people that he is a boyfriend of Whitney's, but I know clearly that he wasn't. He was, like she said, a runner boy. But for some reason, he knows somebody that sells drugs, and he was buying them for Whitney, from what I know, and giving her drugs. I want to know why this boy was allowed to do that around Pat and around Gary. Around Pat, mainly because you were with her. You were with her all the time. All the time. And for you to say that you don't know what happened to her, I'm really disturbed by that. I really am.
Now, I want to remind my viewers that HLN CNN cannot confirm nor deny what you're alleging here. It's pretty heavy stuff.
Yes,
you're suggesting. Now, we saw Pat on the Oprah interview, though, suggesting that Whitney did not do drugs, and Gary saying the same thing, right? I mean, do you think it's possible they had no knowledge that she was using it this time?
Well, no, I doubt that very much. Pat is around her. She's around her enough to know if she was doing drugs.
Want a worry-free way to kill bugs? Zero, people-friendly, bug deadly.
get the brands you want, the prices you want, whenever you want.
I don't believe that. I really don't. And I'm just being honest.
I
If
see.
I was around her, I would know.
You would know. And I see that you're angry,
Yes, I am.
and you're sad too, right?
Yes,
I
I
mean,
am.
this is really a
I'm
sad.
very sad. I'm very sad, and I'm very angry right now.
And Shelley, here we are again, another great person taken by addiction. It makes us sad every time, and yet how many times we got to sit here and talk about this? It sounds like no one, Leola was willing to do
No, I
that.
don't believe anybody tried to do that. You know, everybody says I loved Whitney, but what did you do to try to help her? You know, did you allow these things to continue to come in her life? Did you allow these people to continue to give her this? Were you one of the people giving these drugs to her? I mean, you know, answer these questions, please.
Well, I'll tell you the thing. You know what I'm saying?
I had a tumor before. I was on pain pills before, you know, and they're prescribed by a doctor, and you know how to take them.
Was she taking painkillers, Whitney?
You're like, I don't know. That I don't know of. I have no knowledge of her taking any pain pills. No. As far as I know, Whitney was fine. She was fine. And another thing, Whitney did not get in bathtubs in hotels. That was something that she and I discussed on many occasions. We used to laugh about it. Whitney would never get in a hotel
She
bathtub.
hated them, so they're dirty. Or...
Yeah, we talked and laughed about how we would never do that. So when I heard that she was found in that bathtub, I knew right then and there something was wrong.
Now,
Leolah was dropping nothing but facts, nothing but truth. But after this interview, she had to endure a firestorm of insults. People said that she wanted to lose money. She was just down and get into that state worth $20 million. You know, she didn't know what she was talking about.
That was all lies.
But those were all lies, fabrication, and a distraction. You know, they even went as far as to say that Leolah was the one that leaked those Whitney Houston drug den pictures to the National Enquirer. However, it wasn't Leolah, it was actually Bobby Brown's other sister, Tina Brown. Now she's the one who was on crack and allegedly she was doing crack and drugs and things like that with Whitney Houston, which is why she was able to get those pictures and take those pictures and sell those to the National Enquirer. So sadly, people don't want the truth when the lie is more entertaining. So after Whitney's death, we saw Ray J at the funeral, grabbing for the casket and just putting on for the camera, basically.
He's trying to grab for the casket. Tragic.
After that train, Leolah warned us all that Bobby Christina was in danger.
Yes, I am concerned about my niece, Bobby Christina. Christy is not safe right now. I want to say to Christy that it's very, very, very important that she does not trust anybody at this time, anybody except her father, her grandmother Sissy, and myself. And I mean that.
Calm but intense concern from Bobby Brown's sister Leolah, who was so close to Whitney Houston that she claims they called each other soul sisters. And now Leolah is looking out for her niece.
Right now is the time to just really shut the door.
Both Leolah and her attorney Reginald Mason remain unspecific about who may try to harm Pritchett.
There are persons that possibly who would want to take advantage of Bobby Christina's fragile state of mind.
Meanwhile, Leolah says her brother Bobby is not doing well at all, but she says don't blame Bobby for Whitney's demise.
Bobby has nothing at all to do with Whitney's death.
In response to claims that Bobby contributed to Whitney's drug abuse, Leolah says that's not true.
Papa John, Whitney's father, says it best. He loved Bobby dearly. And he said out of his own mouth, her father said out of his mouth, he was tired of people talking about his son-in-law. You know, he said Bobby had nothing to do with Whitney doing drugs in the past or whatever. Bobby never had anything to do with that.
While awaiting toxicology results to determine what killed Whitney, Leolah has reached out to the Beverly Hills Police Department to make sure they do a thorough investigation.
I believe Whitney's death was not accidental. No.
So then, in Leolah's mind, what killed Whitney?
My attorney has advised me not to get into that at all. But it's very important to know that she did not just pass away like that. No. And if it's the last thing that I do, I'm going to find out what truly happened to my sister.
Look at the skin, baby. She is glowing. She is 101.
With new Olay hyaluronic body.
And just like clockwork, a few years later, Bobby Christina was found unconscious in a bathtub, just like her mother. I don't believe in coincidences. Do you?
Are disturbing new allegations today about the death of Whitney Houston's daughter, Bobby Christina.
I want the world to know that Bobby Christina did not die from the bathtub incident. That's not what killed Bobby Christina.
What killed Bobby Christina?
Bobby Christina was starved to death.
Leolah Brown says new evidence suggests her niece was beaten before she was found in her bathtub.
Somebody wanted her dead.
The autopsy report shows 22-year-old Bobby Christina was undernourished and weighed only 93 pounds. She was also missing 2 teeth. They may have been knocked out. There were other mysterious bruises on her head, arms, and thighs. Leolah Brown says she blames Bobby Christina's boyfriend, Nick Gordon.
This is a young man who swears to God that he loves my niece. But yet you drag her up the steps, you pull her by her hair. You pull her by her hair and you punch her in the face and you knock 2 of her teeth out.
On the Dr. Phil show, Nick Gordon denies any wrongdoing. He blames Bobby Christina's father, Bobby Brown, for her abuse of drugs.
You say to Bobby Brown.
He's delusional. He hurt his own daughter, not me, you know. I was the one there for her while she was going through everything, dealing with him, not being there. I was trying to be there for her.
But Leolah Brown, Bobby's sister, is firing back on Inside Edition.
He is a monster. Nick Gordon is a monster. He is a monster. If he can do this to Chrissy, somebody that did nothing but love him,
That's evil.
that's evil.
And another bombshell.
I believe that somebody killed my niece, just like they killed her mother.
Bobby Christina Brown's aunt Leolah Brown is claiming in an Inside Edition exclusive that she thinks her niece was murdered.
Nick murdered Bobby Christina. When Nick gets arrested, everything will fall like dominoes.
Placed in court on July 26th.
I believe that there are several people that wanted Bobby Christina dead, but I think the purpose of her death was to gain full access to Whitney Houston's estate.
Watch Inside Edition to see what Leolah says happened in the days before Bobby's death.
See, something is wrong here. Something is very wrong.
ET can report Leolah Brown was removed from her niece Bobby Christina Brown's funeral Saturday. Outside, she slammed Bobby Christina's other aunt, Pat Houston.
She won't hurt. It's not over. It has to be done. It has to be done.
Why do you say that?
It's just nice to figure out because I have information, I have evidence, I have knowledge of who Pat really is. And
He's not.
She's not even a Houston dog.
Relationship ever to Chrissy. She's not even a Houston. She's a Garland. But Pat Houston, it's gonna be a long.
I ain't gonna say nothing.
It's hard over. It's hard over. We're doing interviews, and I'll be speaking out and telling the truth about that. His pain. I'm getting no right. It went wonderful until Pat started speaking, and I didn't like that. And she started. I was like this. I just told her that Whitney was going to harm her from the way. I think, not much. She's not saying anything. I just don't know what she's going to say. You know, she's just being the phony person that she is. I really can't understand. I'm so sad that this has happened to her right after her mother. She was 12 and she brains. You know, this is not something that just happened. Okay, this is going to be connected. It has just begun.
Fast forward to 2017, Leolah Brown still wants justice for Whitney and Bobby Christina. So she just released this video a couple of months ago, giving us a preview of her book, My Sister's Keeper.
I say that because I have information, I have evidence, I have knowledge of who Pat really is. And she is not any relation whatsoever to Chrissy. She's not even a Houston, she's a Garland. But Pat Houston this is gonna be a long, drawn out thing, trust me. It's not over.
So I'm not sure I can even talk about this, but US Cellular has a new deal where you can get a Samsung.
I told you it's not over. When I said that, I meant it. But why? Why did I say it's not over? We have two people dead, murdered, the same way. Nowhere in the history in this country have we ever heard kids like that, right? A mother and a daughter. It's very important for me to tell this world exactly what happened. You all have been told a bunch of lies. My God, you have no idea of the truth. Nick Gordon, Pat Garland, aka Pat Houston, Gary Houston, Ray J. Oh, I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you. If you thought you was gonna get away with this, you're wrong. Sorry. There's no way that I'm gonna let you guys get away with what you did to my sister and my niece. Gray, Whitney's security. Brother, I'm coming for you too. Because you need to explain why you was not there at that door on your 12-hour shift or 24-hour shift. And last but not least, and I have to say this with all due respect, Mama sister, I have to come for you. And I'm sorry. I know you love me. I love you too. But I have a duty by God. Oh my God. So I'm gonna tell the truth. I have to tell the truth. Whitney is speaking through me from the grave. And I have a message for the world. I want to remind you all of something that you may have forgotten. And I guess Whitney knew this day was coming. That's why she set me up for this. There's no way on this earth that I can go on without getting the truth out there. This world has been lied to. And you know it. You know it. Games have been played over and over again. But I'm going to tell the truth now. I'm going to get the truth out there. Because it needs to be.
I'm sorry.
As God is my witness, I'm going to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. As God is my witness, it's not over yet. I have a duty by God to speak the truth, and I intend to do that.
Those that murdered Christy and
Whitney, Bobby Christina,
they know
they
that.
they don't talk about them in this book. I'm exposing everything. And I've got stuff in here that you all ain't heard yet. It's not over. It's not over because why? I am my sister's keeper.
Remember that.
Whew, I can't wait for that book. Yes, yes.
I believe
Leolah
Leolah 100%.
I don't think this lady will come out and lie like this. You know, she's been talking the same speech for the last 5 years, and she hasn't strayed yet. You know, so she doesn't have any ties to the estate. She's not going to get any money from Whitney Houston's millions. But who does
Have access to that money?
who did get that money after Bobby Christina's death? Well, word on the curb is Pat Houston and Sissy. But okay. Now, recently, Pat Houston's stepson, he just came out
In
in
the
a
book,
scathing
statement
article
article.
that he did with Famous. And he is pretty much
Yeah.
saying that Pat Houston is a
can't.
manipulator, a sociopath, a straight up snake, and that he overheard a conversation on Ray Houston's IG Live where she did nothing but trash Whitney Houston and Bobby Christina. I want you guys to check out this clip. Let me know what you think in the comment section.
Try killing bugs the worry-free way, not the other way. Zebo traps use light to attract and trap flying insects with no odor and no mess. They work continuously, so you don't have to. Zebo, people-friendly, bug-deadly.
Because I'm saying this till I talk too. But I'm saying this because the people that have done this to Whitney, I do not believe have repented because they're still out there doing things. So they can't be remorseful. You understand? But we're gonna talk. First of all, we know that the whole movie is a lie. I told you guys that. Everybody's doing things for money. Money. That's it. Money. Nothing else. That's it. Don't you want you gotta use your head. I am the only real person out here fighting for Whitney. Out of all the people that say they love Whitney Houston, and then out of all the people that are her family and her loved ones, they know that I'm speaking the truth. But ain't nobody trying to fight like me. You understand? But at the same time, a lot of people, somebody said earlier, I was reading something and it said, oh, on my Facebook page, they said,
Pat doesn't fear
Pat
God.
does not fear God. And
I
I don't think she does either.
I
Because when
guess
you
she
fear
does.
God, you're careful and mindful of things that you do. We're not perfect,
We ain't perfect.
but you're
You're
mindful
mindful.
of things that you do. You understand? And it's hard for me, y'all, Because as a person and a peacemaker, I have to sit here, I have to stand and talk about my people, the ones that I believe did this to Whitney, okay? And we all know that it's others involved. And I know many of you all say Clive Davis. I hear a lot of people saying that, yes. And I understand that. But when I speak and when I talk and when I do things, I can't come out here and point fingers at Clive and those at the top that are probably involved. But because I don't have evidence on Clive, I don't. And I don't care who says what. I don't have any evidence on Clive Davis doing anything to Whitney, but I do have evidence of others. Okay? And I mean, you know, let's keep this real. A devil is going to be a devil. It's written in our books about what this white man that is in power, okay, is going to do to us and has done to us. See, I am not concerned about them because they did what they did. They're getting their A's for coming here and doing what they're doing to us. My aim is my people. I'm trying to wake us up to tell us not to do this to each other. Don't take no bribe. Don't let money absorb it. That you would kill your brothers and sisters. That's what's important to me. That is what Leolah is about. That's what my pride is about. To save my people. Okay? So don't think that I'm just
out here scared to say Clive's name or something like that. No, that's not it.
Fear anybody. But at the same time, I can't sit up and talk about people. And my book really is about everything that happened to Whitney, the evidence that I have, what Whitney told me out of her own mouth. See, I'm not coming with just a little book, just talking.
I'm coming with evidence.
I'm coming with evidence to y'all. When I tell you all that Pat Houston killed Killed my niece, Bobby Christina, that is true. She is the one that murdered Chrissy. Okay? First of all, how did she get power of attorney over Whitney's estate or be put in how is she able to be put in a position to claim 50% guardianship over Bobby Christina as her father when a child's parents are gone and Chrissy's parents were gone? Bobby was still here. Why did Pat stand up
and fight for
Bobby Christina estate to be over that with my brother Bobby? Fighting against him to be over his daughter's estate.
Yeah.
At the time, Bobby Christina was in the hospital. They was conspiring, trying to get control over that estate. They went and hired attorneys and everything. They wanted the estate. Whitney's aunt called me and said, Lily, you are the only one that is supposed to be over Bobby Christina's estate. And the only reason I didn't fight with my brother because I didn't want to do that to him at that time. He
had just lost Whitney.
He was mourning his daughter. He had just lost Whitney. I didn't want to be in the media fighting against my brother for his daughter that he brought in the world. Money don't matter to me. And I begged my brother. I said, Bobby, just please save her. I'll stand down, but just save her. Make sure. Because at that time, she was so upset that Bobby was spending every dime of his own money to save his daughter. Yes. Most of that money didn't come out of Whitney's estate to pay for Chrissy's hospital bills. Bobby Brown was paying for that with his own money. Bobby said, I don't care what it costs. I'm gonna save my daughter. But Pat wanted her dead. Why are you wasting money to save her? How dare you? What if your daughter, Pat, was in the hospital? What would you do to save her? Hmm? Okay? And there was no plug on Chrissy. No. There was no plug.
She was just looking at both.
Bobby Christina was looking at everybody just like I'm looking at y'all. Yes.
Yeah,
She was
coming.
wide awake.
She came from that
She had
coma.
come through that coma, making progress, trying to come home. Okay, that's why I'm so upset, even to this day. Because my niece strived and struggled hard to live. She wanted to live. Yes. Anyways, okay, the movie. We all know that was a big lie. First of all, let me tell y'all something. Like I said, when I saw the screen, I said, look, pull this car around there. I want to see the last little bit of this. But I'm going back. I'm going back. I'm going to go to the movies probably another few days. I'm going to go to the movies and see the full thing. When I came in, it was right before, it was something about Robin and Bobby. Like, this ain't even Bobby and Robin, first of all. No, I don't believe in none of that. My brother Bobby did not act like that, first of all. No. I knew Pat was gonna try to make Bobby look bad. You know, they always try to make Bobby Brown look bad because he is a real good man, okay? He was for Whitney. And they didn't like that. Okay, and I'm talking about that in my book because the real reason why they killed Whitney, the real reason why they murdered Whitney was because they knew.
You're a multitasking mastermind with a never-ending to-do list.
Well, the real reason why they murdered her so fast. Because they knew that she was getting ready to marry Bobby. Yes, you guys, Whitney and Bobby was getting ready to get married. But hold on. Like I said, the movie was done for money, right? I had to write down some notes because when I get to talking,
I don't want to forget anything.
Let me not forget nothing in this video. And don't worry,
I
I
have
got
plenty
plenty
more
more coming. I'm just busy, but I'm trying to also too. Oh, I got something to tell you what happened to me while I was trying to set my buttons up on Facebook. But anyway, yeah, like I was saying, Pat told a big lie when she says that Whitney went to her father's bedside and said, Pat's gonna manage me. That never happened. Whitney never did that. So that scene I know is a lie. Whitney would never do that. Whitney, Pat had to add that in there though, because I'm out here talking about how Whitney would never have her for a manager. And I want to say this too. And this is to I had looked at that company that show that she was on. Sway's Universe. The guy that interviewed Pat Houston on Sway's Universe, you all should have known that Pat was not Whitney's manager when she made the statement that Nicole was Whitney's movie agent.
I'm
Me and
like,
my sons was watching that saying,
no,
Nicole
it's
is
a publicist.
She's not Whitney's movie agent. And then she said she was Whitney's movie agent for 30 years. That shows you that Pat doesn't know what she's talking about. Whitney Houston has been singing for years, but she just started doing movies. So if Nicole was her movie agent for 30, why didn't Whitney do movies for 30 years? You see, she don't even know Nicole's position. Nicole is a publicist. This is to Sway Universe. You interviewed Pat, and she was talking about Whitney's movie agent, Nicole, who was Whitney's movie agent for 30 years. No, she was not. She was Whitney's publicist. See, that shows you right there. Pat doesn't know what she's talking about. But see, we can pick up on things like this. You all don't understand. She's Oh, she's
Perpetrating
perpetrating
the
fraud
fraud
big time, baby. She got this world fooled. Fooled. She got you all
thinking
thinking
that
she
she's
was
Whitney's
Whitney's
manager.
manager, but she was not.
Whitney didn't even have a
Okay?
manager.
And the only reason why she's standing is because of Whitney's mother.
I'm just speaking
Mama
facts.
Sissy put her up front for her
Mhm.
to do all the work for her. Yeah, but I don't even think Mama Sissy is even, none of those shit, I don't even think they're agreeing with her right now. No, but yeah, I wanted to point that out to everybody because enough is enough. Cat can be seen
But
if
see,
you
if you
listen to
really
what she's
listen to what
saying.
she's saying,
She don't really
you
know
know
that
much
much
about
about
Whitney.
Whitney. She pushed her way in, trying to do
Things
things
for
for
Whitney.
Whitney. And the only reason why Whitney was
Using
using
her
her because
because
she was
she
trying to
wanted
keep
food
food on her brother's table.
table. That was it.
By using Pat to do certain things, but that's the only
The
time
time
you
you
see
see
Pat
Pat
with
was
her at the end. The night before
before
Whitney was murdered. You see Pat in pictures. Why are they just
just
showing
showing
you
y'all
all
that.
that?
Think about it.
Oh, there's a big conspiracy going on.
It's a big
But Whitney ain't
conspiracy.
never told
Her
her
father
father that
died.
by his bedside. No. And I'm gonna look at this whole movie and come back with something else because I haven't even seen the whole thing. But when I saw
So
that,
that
it's like that didn't happen. When she stands at the bed about Pat's gonna manage me. Did not happen. Whitney would not do that. You all look with me like we did. You would know. Well, I know Whitney is laughing, and if the dead could see and hear, and Whitney's cracking up right now. And somebody, Sean Shoemaker, you said Pat doesn't fear God. No, darling, I don't think so. Somebody else said, God has my brother Bobby. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. And I'm gonna tell you why God has him. Because Bobby is really a good man. He really is. He's a good man. All the men in my family, they take care of their women. They take care of their women. Bobby is a good provider. But I am so sorry. I have to say this. Bobby's wife, Alicia, was sent into him. Yes. Somebody sent that woman in and they threw her on Bobby and said, hurry up and do what you gotta do. Because Whitney and him are getting ready to get married. Yes. And I think that they knew that Whitney's phone was tapped. I mean, I think that they had Whitney's phone tapped and they knew that Whitney and Bobby had been on the phone talking about, getting married again and stuff. Because they had just taken Chrissy to dinner 2 weeks before they found Whitney in the hotel. And said they made the announcement that they were getting married again. So yeah. So they didn't want her to leave the hotel. Yep. And then Pat and Gary staging the scene and everything. Yes. This is real, you all. These are not just rumors and just hearsay stuff. This is what happened. Okay? Jaguar Wright. My sister. I don't know all of what Jaguar Wright says. I take my hat off to her. I love her. She is my sister. She is right when she says a lot of things, but there was only one thing
I know what she
that I said, I have to, and I would like to talk to her to let her know.
Yeah.
I don't know where she got the message from that Whitney was doing a tell-all. She was not doing that. Whitney wasn't into books and stuff. Whitney did not care about writing a book. She really wasn't. Whitney was more concerned with spending the rest of her life off somewhere with Bobby Christina and my brother Bobby. She didn't want nothing to do anymore with the music industry, to be honest with you. She just wanted to sing gospel. She really did. She wanted to sing gospel. That's what she wanted. Whitney loved God. She loved God. And I have something to tell this whole world about Whitney Houston and how she repented with God before she left this world. Oh, yes. God came to her.
Yes.
Oh, yes. But no, Jaguar, she was not writing a tell-all. I don't know who said that or where that was coming from. Because she wasn't writing a tell-all. No. What else did I want to say? Another thing, you guys, I don't believe that
A
a
drug
drug
dealer
dealer.
killed
People
Whitney.
keep saying that.
I don't believe that.
Jaguar, right? You were saying that Ray J let the drug dealer in.
Maybe.
I don't know about that
that,
story.
but
I don't.
I do know Ray J
But I
was
do
there.
know Ray J was there. Ray J was there.
And
that little girl, Brandy,
Brandy
that calls herself Whitney's
goddaughter,
goddaughter, she was
not
never Whitney's
Whitney's
goddaughter.
goddaughter.
No. Whitney never said she was a goddaughter. She came in Bobby and Whitney's family. She knew Bobby. Bobby was calling her his god, or she was calling Bobby her godfather at one time. But Whitney did not trust Brandy. No. Whitney told us that Brandy Burnside and her mother were these words came out of Tweed's mouth to us, not just me, a few of my family, even my sister Tina knows this, that Brandy and her mother was trying to get money out of her. They told her they was homeless or something in LA and they was going through a lot. And that's what Brandy was trying to do. But Whitney didn't trust that girl for some reason. And I want you all to take a look at that video at that hotel in the back when they found Whitney's body. There's a video of Brandy Raffles is directing traffic. Brandy is in the car waiting for Nick or Ray J. They say. Or both. Okay? And I got a lot of other stuff coming out about that.
In my book.
Okay? But look at
Brandy's
the actions.
the actions of Brandy.
Now Whitney's body is just found, right? Her body was they just found
her
her
dead.
dead. But Brandy's in the car laughing. And the way she is laughing and her body is positioned, I'm looking right at her. Because I study people. I'm looking at her body language and everything. And she's sitting there smiling like, come on, hurry up, we gotta do that. That's the mind that I felt that she had as she was in that car waiting. She said, come on, hurry. He's in here now. Whitney's dead. And I said that after I saw that, I said, somebody promised her something. Somebody said, if you do this for me, I promise you a show. Anybody in my family, I said this way before the love of hip hop. I said, wait and watch. You will see Brandy and Ray J on a reality show. I said that. Sure enough, here they come. Yeah, I said that. Yeah, but I don't believe it was a drug dealer involved. Whitney was on no drugs. So then why would a drug dealer be involved? But whoever was in that room attacked Whitney. And I believe it was more than one person. Yes, of course. And all of the people that were present were Pat Houston, Gary Houston, Brandy Burnside, Ray J. All of them were there with Whitney. They know what happened to Whitney, you all.
Don't let them
Don't
tell
let
you
them tell you that they don't know. They know. In my last video, I talked about how Whitney was jumped. Yeah. Oh, because it's going to take a few of you to take it down. Whitney was very feisty. And she wanted to live. She gonna fight for her life. I told you about her security guy told me that room looked like a tornado hit it. But I don't understand where he was. Because he's her security. You're supposed to be right there at Whitney's store. So, but he's also Pat's sister, brother. So, did she lure him away from Whitney's door?
I don't know.
You understand me? But when this book comes out and you all are reading what I believe happened, how I can tell you this. I know what happened. And I know how when Chrissy told us she was in her mother's bed Don't forget that. Bobby Christina said she was in mommy's bed. She kept waking up, Whitney was there. Then she woke up that last time and Whitney was gone. So she gets up, she puts on her mother's clothes. She had to wear Whitney's clothes because the day before, when Christy woke up in the bathtub, she couldn't find none of her clothes. She said they had taken all of her clothes. Her floor was soaked, soaking wet all through her hotel room. So she had to run down the hall naked to her mother's room. So when she got to Whitney's room, Whitney's like, what the hell happened? Mommy, I woke up in the bathtub. Whitney's on the phone calling everybody. Wait a minute. Where's Pat? Where's Ray? Where's everybody? She probably called Gary, Ray, everybody. She even called Ray J. You remember Pat sat on Oprah and said she didn't answer Whitney's calls that day? Remember Ray J saying he regrets his call? Remember Whitney interfering with Clive Davis and Monica and Brandy? And she, Brandy, Ray J's sister, Whitney interrupted while they were doing a live. Some station they was on. But Whitney interrupted with Chrissy. She handed Brandy that note. Said hi to Clyde. Remember that? She only came to give Brandy that note for her brother. You see? Whitney's looking for them. She's trying to find out. That's why she had Chrissy on her side. Why was my daughter found in the bathtub? What did y'all do? Where's her clothes? But everybody ran from her. So Chrissy said she woke up that next morning. And Mommy wasn't in the room. So she gets up and puts on her mother's clothes and goes down the hall. Finds out her mother's in her room. Gone. Whitney got up and said, the hell with this. I'm gonna go find them. I know they're hanging out in Chrissy's room. Got it. Go like that. I'm smart. I'm smart, baby. I'm back. Let me tell you something. Farrakhan don't make fools. It's easy to figure out what happened. And I know my sister. Okay? I know her. And why would you all stay in the room? Pat, Gary, y'all was in there running back and forth, taking things out, hurrying up before the authorities came. Why? If y'all had anything to hide, you all do to her. Wow. Okay, but I'm just saying, y'all. Brandy was in that car in the back of that hotel, pulling out. Don't forget that. Smiling. You wasn't crying that when you was dead, Brandy? And another thing, you all, Whitney did not sleep with Ray J. No. That's not what she told me. Ray J was not Whitney's type. Whitney used to love Bobby Brown. To the moon and back. Baby, she didn't see herself with another man ever. She told me, I don't want another man. I love me some Bobby Brown. That's what she said. She loved Bobby. Don't y'all let Ray J run around telling y'all that he's been with Whitney. He has not been with Whitney. Whitney had him around her on her hip because he was supplying with her needs there. Not sexual needs. No. Whitney wasn't with him like that. You know, a lot of people were asking me about was Alicia really at Bobby and Whitney's mansion at the time Bobby was? I'm getting so much mail about that. When Bobby and Whitney were getting married. I don't know. Let me tell y'all something. My sister Tina was the one talking back and forth to Bobby during this time of his wedding with Whitney. Tina told me, I don't remember seeing Alicia anywhere. Y'all think about that. Whitney and Bobby's marriage was at his house. Bobby and Whitney's mansion in New Jersey. And really, let's say Whitney's, because that mansion was Whitney's before she was marrying Bobby. Do you know the security that Whitney had coming in there? There was it was very limited people in Whitney's house. The wedding was outside. I was there because I was a bridesmaid. I stood right next to Robert. I was in the wedding. I'd never seen Alicia nowhere in that house. And I can count the people that was in the house. So I don't even know why that even came up. Like, my sister Tina was there. She was the one talking to Bobby all the time. Her and Bobby was in the room. No. And we was, the rest of us was in there getting our faces done for the wedding and getting dressed. And Tina was with Bobby. So when was Alicia there? And Tina said she never seen Alicia. So
I'm just saying that. I'm just saying, being respectful.
And that's real. That's real. So that stuff in the movie, I don't know. That was all for show, you guys. It was all for show, as far as I am concerned. In my opinion, that was all for show. And Alicia wanted people to see that.
She
And
wanted y'all
another
to see
thing,
that.
I think that, people are saying that my brother needs rest.
Yes,
He does. Bobby really does need rest. I think he does. I wish that my brother could just take a vacation and just rest. Bobby hasn't had any time to mourn or anything since Whitney. He lost his wife. My mother, my father, his wife, his daughter, his son, his sister,
his mother,
our sister. And he's been on tour
ever since.
And I understand that, sometimes people may want to go out on tour to take their mind off of things, but in a case like this, with Bobby having a bad heart, he needs to rest. But you know why Alicia popped in there and she's managing my brother now? Because she wanted to be able to control that. Well, she can keep him out on the road. And I'm gonna tell you something, I believe that she really is doing this for this. She wants to keep him out on the road to tire him out.
Oh, that's good job. My bad.
Just to tire him out. So that he can be so tired that he'll pass out on stage one day. And it's all over. Yeah, because she's definitely there for the money. Trust and believe that. And then she has in her mind that she was never Bobby's girl. God gave me this one. Wow, Bobby. The whole time that she's known Bobby for a while. But like I said before, she was a groupie. She was a groupie in the beginning, following Bobby around everywhere. Unbeknownst to him. He would leave her and go to the next and be like, all right, I'll see you later. And she'd be in the next. Don't even tell him that she's gonna be in the next city. Surprising me. See, but my brother was too young to understand what was going on. But I got a message that Alicia has got him on tour now because she wanted to be the queen with Bobby Brown while on tour. That was a dream of hers that she always had. But Bobby is up there in age now, Alicia. Let my brother rest. If you love him so much, you will let him rest. You will let him rest. And you will take care of him and be a good wife and be by his side. Make sure that he's eating the right foods. He's not eating greasy foods that's gonna mess his heart up. Put him on a good diet. Take him off of that medicine, pharmaceutical medicine, and get him some herbs.
Let Dr. Jolly
hear Mommy. And another thing, people are talking about Dr. Jolly. Wasn't gonna do nothing for Chrissy. Let me tell you something. Dr. Jolly is the best thing out there right now when it comes to herbs. Dr. Sabi's gone. Him and Dr. Jolly run neck and neck with herbs. Dr. Jolly takes care of a lot of people. A lot of people. The Bible tells us that herbs will be for the healing of the land. Why would you let a doctor give you man-made medicine?
Right.
And tell you not to take herbs when God says
Take herbs.
herbs are made for the healing of the land. I don't get it, people. And we read our Bibles.
We read our Bibles.
We say we believe, but we won't use God's herbs. And you can't overdose off of herbs.
Not the John.
Not Dr. Jolly herbs.
Yeah.
No. And Dr. Jolly was showing them. He sat in hospice with my brother Bobby, with the doctors. Pat was amongst them, sitting in there. She shouldn't have been. She had no right to be there by law. By law. Pat Houston had no right to be there. She's not blood. She's not family. No, she is Whitney's brother's wife.
The Los Angeles coroner's office finally revealing what killed the superstar singer who was found, as you know, underwater in her hotel bathtub on February 11th. ABC's Juju Chang has the latest. Whitney Houston's sudden death 6 weeks ago at the Beverly Hilton Hotel was shocking, but not exactly a mystery. Now the coroner's toxicology report clarifies what many people suspected: cause of death, drowning, and cocaine use. Officially, Houston's death is classified as an accident. She drowned in the bathtub. But according to the coroner's report, cocaine and metabolites were also identified and were contributory to the death, as was heart disease. Also in Houston's system, a host of other drugs doctors say did not contribute, among them marijuana, Xanax, and Benadryl. Houston died the night before the Grammys, just hours before a music industry party she was planning to attend. She had struggled for years with drug and alcohol problems, but told ABC's Diane Sawyer she had overcome her demons.
I can't tell you it's all gonna be perfect, Diane, and I
Yeah,
can't
because
tell you.
everybody says it's day by day, day by day.
Yeah.
But now do you say not at all, or do you say I can?
I'm not gonna tell you that. I can tell you that.
This. I'm not
That
loving
messed up
stuff.
perspective. I'm not a person who wants to die. I'm a person who has life and wants to live.
Tragically, that wouldn't hold true. Juju Chang, ABC News, New York.
Whitney Houston is on her way home. At this moment, a private plane carrying the body of one of America's blazing stars back to the church in Newark, New Jersey, where it all began. Her funeral expected there later this week. She started as a choir girl with a voice that rained out holy fire, becoming the supernova who would break the sound barrier again, all the while battling her drugs, her alcohol, and her fear. So, what happened in the end? ABC's Jim Avila is with us now to tell us what we've learned tonight about how Whitney Houston died in that hotel room at the age of 48. Jim?
Diane, Beverly Hills police have put a hold on the autopsy results and refused to release the 911 tapes, the 911 tapes of the call from the Beverly Hilton Hotel here. But they have allowed the coroner's office to release Whitney Houston's body to her family this weeks before any kind of decision on the cause of death can be reached. The LA County coroner released Whitney Houston's body today, and she is on the way home to New Jersey on a private jet. The autopsy complete, fluids taken for toxicology reports, but results not expected for at least 8 weeks. And while sources tell ABC News there were no signs of trauma or foul play on her body, no visible trace of illegal drugs, there were prescription bottles in the bathroom where Houston was found in the tub. And as seen in these photos obtained by TMZ, alcohol in the room, both champagne and beer. Still, that's not enough evidence for medical examiners to declare a definitive cause of death.
No matter what medications they're taking, until we run a tox and see the level and what's in the system, we're not going to speculate.
At the Beverly Hilton Hotel today, the singer's entourage moved out. Sources tell ABC News many are being questioned about Houston's last hours, but police insist this is not a homicide investigation.
in this town conducting death investigation. And we need to be very clear about that.
We don't know the circumstances.
The cause of death, we don't know the circumstances
death.
leading up to her death.
Here's what we do know about those circumstances. Thursday night, Whitney Houston danced and partied at a Hollywood nightclub. Pictures show her sweaty and disheveled, one leg bloody. Friends say she was drinking champagne. Friday, Houston is seen skipping around the Beverly Hilton lobby, somersaulting at the pool. Again, her clothes in disarray and her hair wet, as she awkwardly interrupts a press interview conducted by E.
She looked bad. Her clothes didn't match. Some people said she smelled of alcohol.
On Saturday, Houston talked by phone with her cousin and godmother Dionne Warwick and her mother Sissy. And minutes later, she went into the bathroom to prepare for a performance scheduled for the music business elite at Clive Davis's pre-Grammy party. She died alone, her body discovered by her entourage, submerged in the tub. She was not breathing, she had no pulse, and could not be revived. 24 hours later, the music industry she once dominated honored her at the Grammys, an award she won 6 times. And even today, after her sudden death, 7 of the top 10 albums sold on Amazon.com are hers. The police and coroner's investigators do know the types of drugs that were found inside the bathroom, the prescription drugs, including Valium and an antibiotic. What they don't know are the levels in her body, and that, of course, is key, Diane.
That's right, Jim. And with all these unanswered questions, I'm going to bring in ABC's Chief Health and Medical Editor, Dr. Richard Besser. Rich, 8 to 10.
New Jimmy Dean maple griddle cakes. Sweet pancake outside, savory sausage inside.
As the adorable daughter of pop icon Whitney Houston, Bobby Christina Brown was thrust into the spotlight at a tender age. Born in Livingston, New Jersey in 1993, she was the only child of Houston and R&B singer Bobby Brown.
That's my grandma
12
Jean,
years
y'all.
old, her family's drama was turned into reality TV fodder on Being Bobby Brown.
I'm watching you, young lady.
Then in 2012, tragedy. Whitney died suddenly. Her mother's shocking death sending Bobby to Cedars-Sinai Medical Center in Los Angeles.
I'm gonna make it now. It's gonna be good.
As Bobby tried to recover from the loss, cameras went along for Lifetime's The Houstons on Our Own.
You see how happy she was? It really was. Gotta find this out again. That girl's just been there a lot. It was here so much.
Estranged from her father for nearly 2.5 years after Whitney's death, she shared this photo of them reuniting in June of 2014. Her parents struggled with addiction, and Bobby, too, faced allegations of drug use.
I wanted to do the right thing. And all I'm trying to do is guide her to the right place in her life.
But Bobby tried to move forward, explaining on Oprah's Next Chapter how she was coping with her mother's death.
I can hear her voice, in spirit talking to me and telling me, keep moving, baby. I'm right here. I got you.
As Bobby Christina dealt with the loss of her mother, she sparked a romance with Nick Gordon. The relationship raised eyebrows. Days before she was found unresponsive in a bathtub at the home she shared with Gordon, she posted these photos on Instagram and tweeted, "Miss you, mommy, so much. Loving you more every second." Now, more than 3 years after her mother's death, the 22-year-old's life also cut short by pain and tragedy.
No one knew it then, but Whitney Houston's final performance was Thursday night, an impromptu duet at a Hollywood club. Chris Collins back now with more on that. He spoke with Kelly Price. She, of course, was the friend who sang with Whitney on Thursday. Hey, Chris.
Hey, George, that's right. Kelly Price, of course, was a longtime friend of Whitney's and a very special person to her. She threw a pre-Grammy party on Thursday night, and Whitney was there, and the result was history.
We laughed and we joked and we cracked up and we danced and we sang. And she was never more than 2 feet from me the entire night. I just gave her a hug, and while I was talking, she was telling me, "Give me the mic."
Something life is remembered now.
It's a much bigger moment
than I could have even imagined. It was a big moment just because it was Whitney. The world got a last gift in that they got an opportunity to see her perform one last time.
We've seen what people have said about that night. The fact that there was blood on her legs or that she was acting in an unusual way when she left. What did you see of her that night?
It was a great event, and she left sweaty. And I've heard the word disheveled. That's about right. When you stand up for 3 hours and you're dancing, you would leave a club looking that way. She didn't look like she was under the influence of anything. She drank champagne and toasted Kelly Price's 3 Grammy nominations Thursday night. That's what Whitney Houston did.
How important in her life was her role as a mother to Bobby Christine?
It was everything. It was everything. She talked about Bobby Chris like she was a piece of heaven that had been entrusted to her. She was the love of her life. And the last time I saw them together was Thursday night dancing.
It's the last performance we'll ever see of Whitney Houston with you. How does that make you feel?
Grateful. Grateful. She left a gift. And
Shop our lowest prices of the season. Save on back to school essentials and our Kohl's Cash. Now at Kohl's.
Hey guys, I'm waiting for you. Hey Rhonda. Hi Rhonda. Hey Cedric. Hey PJ. Hey Alicia. Hey Ursula. Love. Hey Damari. Latanya. How you guys doing? Can y'all hit the like button for me? Coming in the chat. Hey Wendy, Felton, Katrina Williams, Kelly Sutton, Ashley, Deanna, Dawn, Damian, the Dreamer, LaShawn, Ursula. Hey Kelly Green. Shout out to my member Kelly Green. Juliet Golden, LaShawn. Hey, shout out to my other member, Nahal. Hey, Ashley Williams, Tracy Williams, Penny Payne, Jeffrey, Rashida, Deanna, Satea Black, Damari Davis. I said, hey, Rhonda, Frederick, Gary, Priscilla, the Dreamer, Lee Edward. Hey, guys. Dion Garrett, that's right. I'm so glad some of my members are in here. Hey, my members. I love you guys so much. I just thought I'd come on tonight for you because I haven't been here all day. I'm so tired. I'm always tired. I had a long day and they got me in here cooking. I'm in here cooking right now. I said, let me go on because it's getting late. I've been wanting to be here for y'all every day. Look, we got so much stuff to talk about. Y'all don't even know. My God, we got so much stuff. But I'm gonna use this time right here and y'all just ask me whatever questions you want to ask me because when I tell you that there'll be days when y'all gonna be sick of me because I'm gonna come on here and I'm gonna talk. I got a lot of stuff to give y'all, but I'm gonna take it easy. I didn't realize that a lot of you guys really didn't even know a lot about what happened to Whitney. Yes, I was busy today answering mail, so I know y'all got my mail, right? You see that I answered you guys. I got a lot of mail I still gotta answer. Thank you, LaShawn. So Queen Leolah is nothing but the truth, honey. That's right. I try to be. Fake. You know, why be fake? Just be. It's easier. It's less stress on you when you can just be real. You ain't got to worry about nothing. Nothing. You know, it takes a load off. You know how that song goes? Take a load off your mind, my glory. Listen to my story, my mind. Okay, let's see. Let me see what y'all want to ask me. Sean said I got a lot to say about that. Hey, Chef Finest Wine. There go my baby. Yes. Dion said, I'm happy when you're on. Thank you, darling. Chef Finest Wine, I'm adding you in as a moderator right now. Because I think Joan is asleep. I think she's resting. So let me see. How do I do this? I'm trying to add you. Chef Finest Wine. Why can't I add you? Okay, there you go. Okay, Chef Finest Wine, you're now my moderator. Thank you. Thank you, God. And I'm glad to do it.
I'm being called and I called Mary.
Thank you, guys.
To that place. I got to get up.
Deanna Mom said, I was washing clothes with my roommate in the radio station and her death. And I didn't feel right about the second I heard of her death. Yes. I was driving down the street. So imagine how I feel.
Right. Imagine how I feel.
Yes.
So even had it.
At least I have someone to talk to. Dion, that's right, baby. You got me. Hey, they call. It's my memory.
Probably finish it.
So much of hasn't been to support me. Don't listen to what he was saying. Because you supporting me, you're helping yourself. Yes.
I mean, there's more things to be concerned about in action. That's one thing to worry about. I mean, I know it's a hobby, but oh my God, you're right. Anybody. I ain't going, I don't care about it. Get out of there. Maybe, hey, it's a hobby.
It's draft day with sleepers. We got everyone in the league accounted for. There's the homeowner.
Breaking news for you this evening in one of the biggest headlines in Georgia's history.
It's something that we've been following heavily for the last 2 days, really the last couple of months. We just learned in the last hour and a half when a Fulton County District Attorney Bonnie Willis is looking to arraign and put on trial former President Donald Trump and his 18 co-defendants. We have team coverage for you tonight, beginning with Brittany Kleinpeter. She is live outside of the Fulton County Jail. That's where all 19 defendants must turn themselves in before next Friday by noon. Brittany, you have some breaking details for us tonight.
That's right. Good evening. According to a proposal filed by District Attorney Bonnie Willis, she is looking to arraign all 19 defendants starting the week of September 5th with a trial on March 4th, which would be right before a presidential primary. Now, it's important to note those are simply proposals. But tonight, we continue to watch and wait outside Fulton County Jail to see if any of the defendants will turn themselves in today. Emory University political science professor Andra Gillespie believes former President Donald Trump will have something to say about Dee Willis's proposed court dates.
Sandra Bullock is mourning a devastating loss. The Oscar winner's longtime partner, Ryan Randall, has died at just 57 years old. The photographer's family and a rep for Sandra shared in a statement with Access Hollywood on Monday that Brian passed away on Saturday after battling ALS for 3 years. The statement read in part, Brian chose early to keep his journey with ALS private, and those of us who have cared for him did our best to honor his request.
So I will come back later on, well, in a few hours. I'll be back, y'all. Bye, guys. I'll come back.